the prose version of the Shakespeare, and this is story number 2, The Tempest. It's very famous. And when I was teaching the prose version, actually this story originally written in the poetry, drama poetry. When I was teaching you, I noticed the behavior and the interest of the students was really noticeable, and the students they enjoyed it, they understood it, and their level of curiosity was multiple. Like when I teach students some other things, so many times the teacher has to engage students using several tactics, but when the teacher teaches them a kind of classic story like the tale of the king or the tale of the queens, with rumors, with tensions rising, and with the romance, and with happy end or sad end, so it is always impact creating. So like Shakespeare, he owned a stage, as I have told these things to you before starting these comedies of the Shakespeare. This is the best work. Some of them I have chosen to teach you, and in a very easy manner, in a very easy method. So we have finished The Tempest, and today I'm delivering in the form of presentation. And see, these are the themes, the 10 themes I have written of Tempest, and these are the characters of this play, and you are quite known and introduced to these characters because we have recently finished this prose. Actually it is written by Charles Lamb and Mary Lamb, okay, but the original creator of this work is William Shakespeare. I think we should not forget to give the credit. Okay, the first theme is illusion of justice in The Tempest. Now illusion means when you falsely believe, in something, that something is going to happen, and actually that doesn't happen. And when you start believing of justice, that you will be provided with the justice, okay, when you like think that this is going to take place, and that actually does not happen. Like the main character in this story is Prospero, and he has a false brother or the step brother, Antonio. So Antonio was seeing the affairs of the country, okay, Milan, and Prospero has kept himself inside, and he devoted himself for the magic books he was reading. He had a belief over his brother that he will be doing justice with the people, he will be doing justice with the country affairs, and he would be doing justice with himself. But actually he turned out to be a traitor, and he turned out to be unfaithful, and one day he just overthrew the rule of Prospero. And not only this, he also cast him away, and he also endangered his life. He also tried to kill his own brother with a small child. So this all happened. So this all happened due to the false belief of Prospero over, like you can say, the blind belief over a justice. So this is called the illusion of justice. And after this, we can see that there is another character, Ariel, who believes that his master Prospero would give him liberty, because it was a kind of contract, it was a kind of agreement, pact, that after doing your work I'll be given the liberty, not the freedom. I've told you the difference between liberty and freedom, because freedom is for human being and liberty is for other beings, okay. So Ariel demanded the liberty, but he was not given. So it was also a kind of illusion of justice. And several other places we have seen the violation of the promises and the violation of the pacts. So means people were very much sure and certain to get something, and they did not get. So clearly indicating that was illusion of justice. And then superiority of human beings. Actually, I do not believe that the human beings are superior than the other beings, but actually this is one of the themes. Human beings have lost the worth and value because of their misconducts and because of their misdeeds. So I go and I go against this theme. So you can support this point. It's up to you. But you see, somewhere we find the superiority of human beings. Like Prospero, being human, he overcame the spirits. Okay, like he got control over them. So this is because of the ingenuity, this is because of the smartness, and this is because of his wit and wisdom. So he was powerful in his wit and wisdom, in his ingenuity, in his smartness over other beings. So that's why he got control. Okay, and when Ariel was torturing and tormenting the people in the ship, when he created the tempest, and when the people were very much troubled, and when he came to know the agonies of his own brother and other fellow people, so his heart melted. His heart melted, and he just forgot about his revenge. He just forgot about his own vengeance, and he said that I just forgive them. I just forgive them. So this is called the superiority of human beings. That human being turns hostile, but when he sees the sufferings of other human beings, so even the hostile the human being is, but he turns into a very softer being. So this is. Then we have allurement of rule. Now allurement means the greed, like human beings are greedy. Like Antonio was, he had a greed of government, he had a greed of rule. So that's why he breached the trust of his own brother. He went disloyal against his own brother. So it was, and when Prospero reached to the island, so it was the greed for the rule. So that's why he got the control of the spirits and of other sources of the island, and he got the possession and control. So it was the allurement of the rule that is shown. So Shakespeare here, like hinting the kings and queens. So they, from generations, they have been rolling over the poor masses. Okay, like even this allurement of rule is applicable to present. Like the rulers, they are having greed for the power, greed of money, and greed of rule, and they have been ruling over the people, and they are violating many other human rights. So how Shakespeare was foresighted. So you can understand. So means in 16th century, in 17th century, the drama is written, but the things are still applicable. Then we have power and exploitation. Here you can see number 4 theme, power and exploitation in the Tempest. When you have power, but when you have power in excess, like when you have a power, too much power, okay, then you will misuse it. Then you will exercise it upon the weaker. Okay, so somebody who is weaker than you and you are powerful, so you will show the power to that being. Like Antonio was powerful, then he showed his power to his own brother. He did not hesitate. Prospero reached to the island, he exercised his power to the Ariel and to the Caliban, and he exercised his power to the Ferdinand. He exercised his power to the inmates of the ship, to the passengers, because he had a power, he had a magic. So when you have the power in the excess, you will show it, you will portray it, you will display it. You will not utilize in the positive manner all the time, but the excess in power will lead you to the negativity. Shakespeare shows this in this play. Magic is a very dominant theme in this play, and we have seen that Prospero has devoted himself even before coming to the island and after coming to the island. So he was very much immersed, involved, engaged to the magic. And in 15 or 16th century, so we have seen the writers writing and producing their work, like Christopher Marlowe, the contemporary to Shakespeare. So he also in Dr. Faustus, in the best work of Christopher Marlowe, he was also emphasized much on the theology versus magic. So like here Shakespeare is not very much possessed with the magic, but somehow the supernatural elements and the magic are the dominant themes. Then the supernatural element like Prospero becomes invisible. This is scientifically not possible. So something which is scientifically not possible, so it is called supernatural element, like the Ariel was flying, okay, like the Prospero was flying. So this is like the suspension of disbelief. Another thought given by another poet, S.T. Coleridge. Okay, then revenge and forgiveness. So finally the opportunity came for Prospero to create war against his own enemies, like the Antonio and Alonso, okay, when they both were coming in the same ship with too many people and guards. So he created Tempest with the help of Ariel. So this was the revenge, and they made them suffer, they made them cry, they made them go hungry, they made them go fatigued, and when they were troubled in the multiple ways, then his revenge got completed. But he did not kill them actually. So we can say that comparatively Prospero was a good person. Okay. Then power of language, like there was great dialogue between Ferdinand and Prospero, Ferdinand and Miranda. So like they convince each other, they like contradict each other, they debate each other. It is the power of language in every play of Shakespeare we see. And then colonization, a very important and very interesting theme. Colonization means when the people from the outside people, okay, the people come from the outside country and they capture and get the control of another lands, not only lands but their property, and they capture, occupy the lives of the people, the properties of the people, okay, for longer duration and for their economic benefits. So it is called colonization. Like British people, and many other like European people, they were colonizers, and we Asians were colonized by them. So similarly Prospero was colonizer, Ariel and Caliban, they were colonized against their own will, and Prospero having the allurement of rule. Okay, then we have slavery and liberty, like we saw that Prospero himself was a kind of slave, and Miranda, both. You see, they have been exiled in in a far-flung island. So they were living a life of exiled people. So it's a slavery. So they were yearning and longing for the sight of another human being. So it's also a slavery. They got liberty, like freedom, and Ariel was also bound, Caliban was also bound. So slavery is also a theme, slavery versus liberty. So I hope I tried to convey in the simpler, because my presentation is getting elongated, so I want to keep it short and simple. So I hope that my students will and you are allowed to make your own themes. It's not necessary that you would go with this list. You may write down, you may come with your own themes and your own ideas, or you may choose some of them as well. You can discuss the characters, so it's up to you. Thank you so much.